part of a man's happiness is peace and quiet.
One thing that I learned in life is a thing called peace. I think a lot of us guys understand what peace means, but a lot of times we're not taught to learn how to receive peace. And one of the reasons why is because this is something that's in our DNA. It's in our DNA to be able to sit back, relax, and chill sometimes. But a lot of times, the way we're raised, depending on who we are raised by, will tend to guide us in the wrong direction. We love our moms, but at the same time, our moms tend to holler at us, make us feel like we ain't doing something right, so they on our ass. But we love our moms, but at the same time, some of the things that happen when we grow up tends to make us think that we don't deserve peace because as we get into relationships, you start to see more and more guys take on more bondage, not understanding that sometimes you gotta call it a loss. You gotta leave certain people alone. I'm going through a divorce right now. I understand what it's like to be in relationships. I've been in multiple relationships. I know what it's like to walk away. I also know what it's like when you sometimes gotta fall back and say, I'm chilling, man. I don't even want no company. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you do get to a point where you don't want no company. You just want to be left alone. And you tend to feel this way when you get to a point or a place in your life where it's like, I'm enjoying being by myself. It's not a bad thing. It's not. And you know what? I want you to listen to this lady give her input on peace because I think this is something that's going to help a lot of guys be able to understand certain things.
As we all know, men don't really need much to be happy. A major part of a man's happiness is peace and quiet. Women know this, but most simply can't give it to him, even if they want to be good wives. Why? Because most women can't control their emotions. So they'd rather damage their relationships than deal with their feelings. This happens in more relationships than we would like to think. If that's not entirely clear, let's look at it this way. Picture this with me. A man being in silence for 1 hour straight. Okay, now let's picture a woman being silent for 1 hour straight. That's right, we can't.
I'm going to tell you this, and this is a fact. It's times I used to fall back and I used to be in the crib. I'm glad I'm home right now. That's why it's always good as a man to have his own space. So when you break apart, you still have your own space. But this is the crazy thing. I used to be sitting there and I'm chilling. And next thing you know, I'm just sitting in my office or I just might be in my room and I'm just relaxing, but I'm actually thinking about certain stuff to do. I had to finish a renovation to a duplex. So I'm sitting there just trying to analyze. I'm writing stuff down. And what's crazy is it's always something. It's always a party. It's always something to go to. Somebody getting married. And you like, yes, what? What's up? Next thing you know, they go to act certain things and you realize you say yes to so much stuff, you get to a point where it's like, dog, I'm not gonna be able to get nothing done if I keep saying yes to everything. You start to notice. That's why a lot of times as guys, you do start to lose your competitiveness because you start to go off of your game plan of the things you're doing. We all been through it. And when I finally woke up, I realized, dog, this ain't working. This I can't even focus. I can't even keep my mind right. Like I'm just like, God damn, it's like it's another wedding. How many people get married? And then it get to a point where it's a party. Then next thing you know, oh, we got invited to this. Eventually you get to a point, I'm not going to that shit. No, I'm not. And then it go from, damn, all right, well, you didn't go to the last one. It gets to a point where as though as a guy, you start to get overwhelmed because you find yourself slowly but surely spending so much money on things that don't do nothing for you or better yourself or even progress your family, but it's all about making the other person significant other feel good. We going out, we going on dates, we doing this, we doing that. Eventually you get to a point where it's like, I done spent so much bread. And I hear women say, oh, it's not about the money. but everything is about spending, but it's not about the money. That's why a lot of guys end up losing their stuff out here. It gets to that point.
That is because most women like to do things day and night until it's time for bed. Because when women are doing random things, they are not doing one very important thing, and that is sitting with their thoughts and emotions. Most men embrace solitude as a chance to reflect on life and make themselves better, while most women would consider this time as torture. I mean, I get it. Hearing what most women think about is pretty painful, right? Of course it is. It is to them as well. That's why, when there is nothing else to do, this type of woman will always stir something up. And having the distraction of the drama takes them further away from their thoughts. Because peace is unbearable for them, she will create some chaotic interaction with him. They will do whatever it takes to not be alone with their thoughts and emotions.
And I know this just from experience. This lady is talking all facts. Because I'm gonna tell you this. It is times that you can sit around and you just sitting there. You just like, dog, I'm so relaxed. But you'll notice that your John, something's going on with her. And I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of times as guys, when you don't understand this, you start to fall victim to thinking, damn, something going on. Let me try to see what's going on, like why she's bothered. Not realizing that you disturbing your own peace. Sometimes, man, you just like, dog, let her go ahead and go do what she going through. Sometimes as guys, we gotta stop trying to be the savior. We can't. This is why a lot of us is falling short on our own expectations. I realized that you'll be sitting there like, well, damn, well, what's wrong with you? And then next thing you know, they like, "What- I just like, we ain't did this in a while. We ain't did this and that. And you like, God damn, you like, I understand that as a guy, you're married and you're making sure the bills and certain things are paid for. I get that we live in this role where as though a man's supposed to do all these things. Well, come a time when you start to wake up and realize that all the things that women say or the person that you with say, it starts to fall short because it get to a point where you start to even as a guy say, no, this juice is not worth the squeeze no more. Like it seems like you always gotta keep doing something when there's nothing to actually do. You just creating. It's like I hear these psychological warfare things that play in your head to say, damn, why is it always an issue if we're not doing this or we're not doing that? Not to say that they're a bad person, but it's like, but what are you adding to? If I'm paying everything, then what are you setting up? I'm setting up everything. But you looking at just to have fun, fun, fun. And if you notice, a lot of relationships are falling short now because it's always about fun, 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 fun. But when the other person that's busting their butt, it's like, oh, I just want to be able to get stuff done and make the family better. That's not looked up. That's frowned upon when it's not fun included in it all the time or most of the time. So you start to lose yourself. You really do. Because it seems like when you're with women, not always, but a lot of times, they find reasons to be mad about something. And it be stuff that's not even worth being mad about. But it's mad because you inconsiderate of my feelings. Eventually, it do get to a time where as though it starts to be a burden. And then when you find that peace to be by yourself again, yo, you do not want to lose it. It become more fun just to watch TV and go places by yourself. I don't know why. It just does. And it's sad that it's like that, but it is.
Even to the point of robbing her husband of a major part of his happiness.
So look, man, I love this lady's video. And her name is what is her name? Let's see right here. Because I don't wanna I don't I want to give her her recognition because I like the stuff that she was preaching. It's God's plan. I see right here, her name. It's God's plan, and I believe this video right here got 35K. No, no, she got 35K subscribers. I don't know how many views on this video, But I'm gonna tell you something. I really like the stuff that she was talking about because she broke everything down to a science. Like she gets it. But at the same time, most men need to wake up and get it. They need to also understand that when it comes time for just understanding your peace and happiness, you have to take that initiative to be able to say to yourself, "Oh, I'm not waking up today going to do these things that I don't feel like doing." Sometimes you gotta pick your peace over everything else. All this stuff, a man's peace don't mean nothing. Shut up. Shut up. I could tell you from experience, I wouldn't have anything if I didn't know how to shut it off. I'm telling you that for fact. You know, I wouldn't have anything. Look, you see right there, you know what I mean? I got my little stuff, my little truck right there I had to put together. And I got another little truck over here, my whole office and everything. But at the same time, man, this is hard earned sweat and tears of just gutting a whole place by myself and doing the work by myself. When you start learning how to do stuff by yourself, you start understanding what it means to have peace. And if you can't find peace, you will never be able to find yourself as a man, you know. But look, man, if y'all watch this video, like and subscribe. Y'all be safe out here. Much love.